it based on what I gotta do inside the property.
180 to 220?
Yeah.
I paid 170 22 years ago, and it was brand new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my neighbor just sold their house for 700.
Well, I tell you what, Rich.
I mean, it was fixed up.
Yeah. I tell you what, I don't want to make any promises to you. Is there like a certain amount of money you want to walk away with?
Yeah, more than 180.
No. Net to you, like.
Yeah.
What's your bottom line?
At least 200 or 300.
What's your bottom line profit take home walk away money with?
Well, I think I owe about 150, and like I told you, my neighbor rehabbed theirs. Mine's dated. It's not updated.
Okay.
So I'm going to deduct 100K just for that.
Okay.
And she got 700 for hers. She had a pool. I don't. But
Okay.
mine is on a quiet street near a school. So I would say the way my house sits today is probably 500. And I don't expect you to pay the 5.
Yikes.
So I'd probably be happy with 450.
Well, way off.
Oh, you're way off. Way off. But that's typical when you're talking to a seller.
Yeah.
Sellers usually want a lot more than what you're willing to
So
offer.
if this is an actual,
Yeah.
this actually happened,
Yeah.
and they want 500,000, I would say, look.
So what would you say? Look, I want at least 450 to 5. It's worth 7. It needs about 100.
I would be like, look, we're leaps and bounds apart on the number.
Okay.
What I could do, it sounds like this needs to be listed on the MLS, which I can offer.
So you're an agent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
I've been
don't
an
like
agent.
talking to agents.
Yeah, but here's the thing with agents. We're gonna want our commission, and your closing costs are not gonna be paid, and we're gonna have people trampling through the house.
Yeah. And we're just coming through a pandemic too. Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many people don't want nobody in the
And
house.
people scare my dogs.
Yeah.
I don't want people coming around looking at my dogs.
Yeah. So
Maybe I will sell it to you. I don't know. Can I think about, you know what? Come to my house. Let's
Yeah.
meet in person.
Okay.
And I want you to see my house so you know it's worth a lot more than 200. Come on now.
I'll come and
Come
we'll
look
sit
at
down
it.
and talk.
And you're an agent. You bring me the comps.
Okay.
You're an agent. Bring me the comps.
Okay.
Come look at it. I know it needs some repairs.
Yes.
I don't want to put the 100K into myself, so I'll let you capture that equity or whatever.
Okay.
You do what you do.
Okay.
Maybe we can do a deal, but I'm a face-to-face kind of guy.
Me
So,
too.
Yeah, let's you come to my house.
All right.
I'd be happy to sit down and talk to you, and maybe we can come to an agreement.
I look forward to meeting you on Wednesday at 9.
I love his presentation. I love this. You know what I like about this? I'm gonna let Carlton finish, but what I liked about it was that he wants to get in front of the seller.
Yes,
That's the key to everything. Look at his eyes, man.
all day.
He's got like Dracula eyes.
I'm drooling to get in front of the
I
seller.
mean, he will have you handing over the keys in like, here, we haven't closed yet, take the keys.
Yeah.
So you do a lot better face to face.
I feel like once you're over the phone, people can bullshit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When you're direct in person, it's a whole nother story. They feel the pressure, and I don't like to say I want to corner a seller, but you kind of want to get like straight to the point and show them that you're actually real deal. Let's get the deal done. So it's way more efficient in person. So
When do you disclose that you're an agent? Because by law, you got to disclose that if you're licensed.
I think when we get the contract signed.
Okay, because you put it on the contract, right, that you're a licensed agent?
Well, I don't know. The law states as long as I just disclose it. Do I
You
have to put
disclose it, yeah.
Oh, I don't put it on my contract.
You don't put it on
I
there?
never had any issues with it, but
If you close on a house with an 80-year-old lady and she has a daughter that's a real estate attorney, like I did early this year, and you didn't disclose that, and she feels you took advantage of her 80-year-old mother,
Yeah, this will happen.
you're going to court.
yeah,
There's actually an addendum for that. It's called agent disclosure addendum.
yes,
Agent personal interest disclosure, but I put it on page 12. I just say,
Yeah.
I'm a licensed agent with
Okay.
Realty One. I'm a managing member of my incorporation, and I want to buy this house for investment purposes.
just be careful, like.
But I disclose it, you know.
Just be careful.
But it could kill the deal because people don't want to talk to agents.
Yeah,
I disclose it at the last minute, like, with the contract.
So at this point, you said you're not an agent anymore, right? You let that license.
I'm not.
go. So
you-
on a call like that, you would just say, well, I'm not an agent, but I have friends who are agents.
Yeah.
Is that how you pass that off?
I would position it as my partner would list it, and we'll get it done.
Gotcha.
But you notice how I didn't let the deal just walk away because we came across this last week. We went to Jupiter, and it's Indian time. We walked in, I'm like, I can't insult these people with a freaking $300,000 offer. The house worth $500,000. It made no sense to do
Yeah.
a cash deal. So you also want to be in the best interest of the seller.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you noticed with that little small interaction between me and Rich, flow is huge, just flowing through naturally. I feel that's kind of one of the keys. When you're stumbling, the seller's gonna pick up on that, and they're gonna be like, are you like who you say you are? Because believe it or not, there are bad wholesalers, and I've come across a few sellers where guys fumbled and I picked up and got it done. So just working naturally, if you can work on a one-on-one, doing a role play, is major. I've noticed over these past 3 years, communicating is that's it. The house is the house. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, go ahead.
You said that you'll handle the logistics of like moving.
Yes.
Could you like go into that a little bit more? How do you
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thursday, so I got a house that we just bought last week. We're gonna rent it. The seller, this deal was another deal that took a while for me to get under contract. I seen it on a pre-foreclosure list. I had the lady's number. I had her number. I knew this was her number. I called her from March, I want to say, until about July. Called, never answered. So luckily, my mom kind of helped me out with this deal. Luckily, my mom knew her sister, right? So my mom called her sister. We got on a three-way, got the appointment, it's done. But part of the deal, she basically she just left the house, she moved to Georgia. She's a hoarder. Like, I got in, I'm like, damn, she got stuff everywhere. So I offered her, I'm like, look, I can, your house is about to get auctioned, which it was. She was like 2-3 weeks away from my auction. I'm like, look, I'll do the deal, I'll buy it cash, but everything in your house that you want, I can ship it to you in Georgia. So I paid for a pod. She agreed to everything. So when I'm offering to help you guys, a lot of people, moving is a big task for the average American. Like, they got a job, they got kids, you know what I mean? Just moving is something that's mentally like, oh my God, I gotta freaking move. So if you can pick up on it or offer it, and it's gonna help you get the deal, offer it. Like if it's, I'm trying to think, can you think of another deal we did? We had to do the moving. Yeah, okay. So I've done it multiple times, you know. Just offer, get a crew of guys, get a U-Haul if you gotta do it yourself. Hey, what do you need to move? I'll move it for you, free. And you'll be surprised how more intriguing they'll be willing to sign a contract. Especially if they're up in age and they don't have no one here. It's like, oh man, I gotta do the move. I want to sell the house, but what am I gonna do with all this stuff? Put it in storage. If you want to get them a storage unit, offer them that.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right. So what was that?
So you're not licensed anymore, Carlton? You let
No,
your
I
license
let
slip?
my license
let it
expire
go?
this year.
But you got Gigi though.
Yeah, she's got her license.
So how many wholesale deals did you convert to listings?
In my 3 years, I would say so far 1 this year, 3. But guess what? I've come across so many other deals that if I was like just a retail agent, it's like, man, this is like easy. You know how it is to be an agent. I don't know if any realtors out here.
Yeah.
You got a question?
No.
Yeah,
He's a realtor.
I'm saying,
He's a realtor.
you're gonna find out.
You girls realtors?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Realtors
Get your
stress
real-
about getting.
How many
listings.
realtors? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Realtors stress about, oh my God, like, I need to get listing.
Yeah.
Only if they knew if they did this.
Yeah.
They get listings.
If you wholesale, you
falling-
can get listings all day.
Falling in lap all day.
I did 3 this year. I converted 3 wholesale. sellers.
Really? Oh, okay.
One was
I
a
think he-
$600,000 listing,
I was gonna
18
say,
grand.
you did great, but I just did a training Sunday, it was like 5 hours long. This guy was talking about how you talk to sellers.
Okay.
And for you newcomers, when you get on the phone, when you were saying closing costs, I guess the psychology behind what the guy was explaining was, you don't know what the closing cost is gonna be, and they
Okay.
don't know as well. So, you know, typically that can range, you know, to $2,000, you know, say, I can save you an additional $2,000 in their brain that may trigger versus just saying closing costs. So it's just like little stuff like that.
Yeah. You can leverage that. See how I offered it to, and I role play like, look, I'll pay your closing costs. Now it really depends, you know, on the amount, the type of deal it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want no one in the house. They don't want anyone to know they selling the house. They want to be private as possible. So you're right about that, man. Offering the closing costs is huge.
How do you rebuttal if they say it's a scam?
Did they say who?
It's a scam.
A scam? Like if they call me a scammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't really come across that. Honestly, I would be like, well, you can go check out my website. You want me to send you a testimonial? I got testimonials in my phone from sellers. They could probably, honestly, I've had the last deal I did, the big deal I did, the guy was like, you got any testimonials? I was like, dude, just go to my Facebook. Your social media is huge. Like, you might want to clean it up. Don't be posting. Don't be posting. I'm being 100 with you, bro. You'll be honest. People research these days, and we on it. This is, you know how quickly all I need is your name. I can pull you up. I have 2 technologies. I can get someone's whole criminal report, driving record. So just tell them to look you up, honestly. Yeah, so it's all about talking to sellers. Now, I'm going to give you a key that sounds cliche, and you're like, what? This business is the number one thing is to not give up. No, just don't give up. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Okay, so when you're doing a lot of deals, like
Yes.
when you're putting a lot of offers, and like, so what do you do to fund all the earnest money? I think that's like our main thing is like.
Great question. Rich, how do you do your escrows? Do you fund? You don't fund them, do you?
I used to put down 20, 50K of my own money.
Okay.
Until I found Delray Beach Title.
Steve, you still using him?
I still use Steve.
Oh, what he said about me?
Okay, he loves you. He loves you. Everybody that knows Carlton loves him.
You lying?
He likes you. Oh, he likes you.
Well, you know,
Okay, so
that's off the record.
okay, I can't say this on camera, but I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Yeah.
I use Delray Beach Title. I'm gonna tell you why when the camera's not on.
Okay. So I was thinking the same too when I was new. Like, damn, I'm gonna give $3,000-5,000. I make the end buyer. That's how they lock up the assignment. So okay, I got a house under contract, Mr. Cash Investor for $150. I'm gonna sell it to you for $160. If you want to get an executed assignment addendum contract from me, the escrow is due tomorrow by 12. Here are the wire instructions. Bam, you covered.
But what, like on the front end though, they want it before like you don't have a big buyer's list. So
Okay.
if they went on the front end to lock up the acquisition side of it, it's like,
Would you had an issue or something happen?
well, like, it's like we tried to negotiate the escrow,
Okay.
and it's like we were trying to leverage because we are putting in other offers. So like, we don't know how, if we don't want to miss out on a deal because we don't have enough in our escrow fund.
So you didn't have your buyer lined up yet, basically.
Yeah, we don't have a buyer lined up for.
Now, what contract were you using?
Well, at first we were using a 2-page.
Okay.
And then we found out that they wanted a lawyer, so then they said.
Oh, they had an attorney.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what-
yeah. Honestly, in that situation, I know you probably was scrambling. You should have used a FAR bar. And on the far bar, it states, I think, 5 days. I have 5 days to submit an escrow. So, honestly, I would have handled that situation. I would have told them, look, I'm going to submit the escrow. I got to get everything approved by my private money lender. He's going to submit the escrow for me. That's probably what I would have came up with if I would have came across that. But most of the time, probably 99% of the time, I've never had an issue with the escrow, but they had an attorney, so you kind of didn't know how to handle that situation. So don't feel bad, just going forward, make sure you, it's kind of, bang, 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 I got the contract, you don't know who your buyer's gonna be, you know what I mean? Just build up your buyer's list, that way you can blast it out. Hit up Rich.
What about, can I say something?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sometimes when you can go to the seller and say, look, Carlton, I like your house.
Yes.
But I buy 10 houses a month, and if I put 10K down on your house,
There you go.
then now, I can't do the other 10, because now you're tying up my money, but this is what I'll do, Carlton.
Yeah.
I'll put 1,000 down today.
Okay,
And on the page 1 of the 12-page far bar,
Yeah.
there's a second drop.
there you go.
So in 15 days, right around my inspection period's over, I'll put another 4 or 5K, whatever makes you comfortable. But I'm not gonna do it. Cleveland's is gonna do it, or Matt, because he's my buyer. So Matt's gonna drop that, and he's gonna replace my 1,000, and my title company will give me back my 1,000 once Matt replaces it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's at closing, but because I have a relationship, he'll send it to me before we close.
Oh, yeah. That's another way to get around that. you know.
And also, if you have a good relationship with a title company, you can say, Mr. Seller, why do you need a big escrow? Just call my guy Steve at Delaware Beach Title. He'll confirm that I do indeed buy.
Yeah, we use Steve for a lot, because when I'm talking about, we were talking with Steve.
Yeah,
Oh, it was the Delaware Beach Title Company.
yeah.
Yeah, I like Steve, so.
He's a one-man show, man. Some title companies you call, there's 10 people, and you don't even know who the closer is.
Are there other title companies that you recommend?
Frontier Title.
There you go.
Okay, Gigi.
Okay,
Do you own that one?
No, I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, I was using Steve.
Matthew, that's your title company too, right, Frontier?
No, he's Florida's best title.
Oh, I thought we did a deal with Frontier with you once.
You ever use Frontier?
I think I had a deal with them once.
Bro.
Was that the F house that we did probate? Was that
Yes, we
Frontier?
did. It was.
Yeah, we did a deal of probate, and
Yeah.
that was Frontier.
Yes.
They were pretty good, yeah.
Marie is on the ball.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Go ahead, then I'm gonna come to you, go ahead.
Okay, what is your ideal wholesaling property when you're looking for a lead while cold calling? Is it how far they are on their taxes, or is it the property's appearance?
Honestly, those would be 2 pain points. To be honest, I think the repairs are more impacting on the seller because they probably have had the repairs assessed. They probably had a contractor come through like, look, that's 20,000, that's 10,000. So the repairs, I think, is more leverage, and you're gonna get a better discount. So if I see a property, like if I come to a property and it's a S-hole, I'm like, because I already know, you know what I mean? Like they're already motivated. It's just they need that kickstart to get the deal done.
Where do you get your contracts from, and what are like the key points that should be on the contract?
I got my contract. I don't know if you heard of Flipman on Instagram. I just went and downloaded it, and I did tweak it some. I added a few lines, and it's a 1-page contract now. Let me give out this disclaimer. You have savvy sellers and you have non-savvy sellers. Rich knew what I'm talking about. Automatically, I'll know, okay, I'm gonna give them this contract. If you feel like this seller is gonna get an attorney, I want my attorney to review the contract, don't even send a 1-page contract, send a FAR bar. And the FAR bar is just a traditional Florida realtor contract. That'll save you a lot of headache and pain. Go ahead.
What's the longest probate deal you ever had and why?
The one we're working on now, that's going on almost 3 years.
Wow.
I can tell you quickly what happened. And I'm gonna come to you. Basically, we got in the contract April of 2020, right when the pandemic hit. The house was a duplex. It was, what do you call it? Detached duplex. So we had a main house, we had a back little efficiency, Pinewood area. I don't know if y'all feel familiar with that. So The seller, the lady who passed away, she left it to her niece. She had no children. She didn't have a husband. She left it to her niece. Her niece didn't have any money. She's up in age. We paid for the probate, and there were some squatters there. Now, the guy that I told you that had the $500,000 lien, the day of the appointment, we could have threw the squatter out. He didn't. He chose to leave it there. Big mistake. So the dude basically, we couldn't, Florida law, squatters have rights. If I'm, like right now, if I break into somebody's house and it's vacant, and like I can prove that, hey, look, officer, my stuff here, you gotta evict me. You can't touch me, you can't throw my stuff out, I have rights under Florida law. So we had to evict him, and when COVID hit, there were no evictions we didn't get the eviction going until later that year, like December. And then once we got the eviction rolling, it took like 5 months. So that carried into last year.
The squatter showed up? The squatter showed up?
No. It's just the county was behind on, they had thousands of freaking evictions just piled up. They couldn't do nothing. When COVID first hit, it was no movement on nothing. Yeah, it was close. It was nothing. So we literally had to wait like 8-9 months to do the eviction. So we finally got the eviction done last year, and we kicked him out. And he got kicked out, and he broke back in literally 10 times in a row. So we kept breaking, and the reason we had to get him out of the building, we had to get the house